What up, what up? It's Ace back on the video. So I'm not going to title this video in the actual video because I really don't know what I'm going to title this video. But if you're watching this video right now, I'm pretty sure that the title that I eventually titled this video is either triggering to you or interesting, or a combination of both. But it's not clickbait. This is a video that I decided to make because I want to give my subscribers and folks that are not subscribed to me my viewpoint on this particular topic. And I don't know, man, I may lose some subscribers, I may lose some followers, but it is what it is. I made a video a couple months ago where I forget what I named that title, but basically I was saying that I'm who I am. I'm me, right? And I try to be as transparent as possible on this channel because I don't want to give a false narrative when it comes to how I explain certain things on my videos, because I'm the type of person that, you know, reveal yourself to me and let me know who you are as a person, and then let me decide whether I want to follow you or subscribe to you, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So I'm not going to talk about a topic and be, you know, harping on that topic, but then I think another way. It doesn't, I don't work like that. You know, I'm real. I'm very transparent. So I definitely want to give my viewpoint on this because I think that once folks really do a deep dive and think about and actually go back and watch this video again, they'll truly understand how my thought process is when it comes to certain things. And like I said, if you want to keep following me, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. God bless you. I wish you all the best. I really do, because I have no animosity towards anybody. And as a caveat to this video, I have no animosity or ill will to anybody that have a different opinion of what I'm about to talk about, or a different political view. I don't. I respect everybody's view on the topic, and I respect everybody's policies when views on policy. I do. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's different. Everybody have their own viewpoints, and everybody has their own way of how they was raised and how they was brought up. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe in core values and core beliefs, which actually dictates a lot of how we think and how we move in life. So for me to fault you thinking a different way, it doesn't make any sense to me. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get into it. So I'm going to talk about the deportation crisis that's going on right now with President Trump actually, you know, using ICE to basically deport illegal immigrants. So here's the thing with this, right? So I'm probably gonna give a couple scenarios as far as like what I've seen visually myself, and then I'm gonna give my actual personal viewpoint when it comes to this. So the thing is with deportation is I do definitely believe that when it comes to criminal activity, you know, when it comes to you being in a different country and you're actually doing like criminal acts, that's crazy. You know, a lot of folks that come to the United States, they come here for a better life. They come here because they're trying to leave a situation that was extremely horrible for them, right? And I'm not saying anything about other countries when it comes to their living conditions, or, you know, or how their country is ran. But there's a reason why you have hundreds of thousands of folks that try to cross the border and breach the border every single day in this country, because what they're coming from is not better. It just isn't, right? They're coming over here because they want a better life, right? Whether it be they want to have a better life and commit acts of crime, or they come over here because they want to just live a quiet, you know, peaceful life, and they want to prosper, and they don't want to deal with, you know, violence that's in the country. They don't want to deal with you know, domestic violence, whatever the case may be, right? Folks are running from something a lot of times when it comes to, you know, coming to the United States, or they're trying to leave a bad situation and trying to make a better situation for themselves. And you have immigrants that come over here because they want to have their children born in the United States, because they want to have their children being U.S. citizens. Because let's face it, the U.S. is the best country in the world. There's a reason, like I said, once again, there's a reason why folks try to come over here, because the opportunity here is endless, right? It's the American dream. When folks say the American dream, that's a real thing. It really is. And folks that live outside the United States, they understand that. So that's the reason why they want to come over here. But I mean, I got to be real, y'all. If you come over here illegally, that is a crime, right? When you come over, when you try to immigrate, or you try to come over to another country, I'm not gonna name any countries, but let's say you try to breach another country other than the United States. you know what kind of penalties you can actually deal with when you do that, like, it's nothing nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to folks coming over here to the United States, crossing the border illegally, the ramifications of them doing that, depending on which state they actually reach by the time they get into the United States, and, you know, after they get into the United States, is not even close to how other countries would treat them. Like, folks go to prison in other countries, and I mean some horrible conditions. Like, it's nothing nice, y'all. It really isn't. Like, you look at, you know, foreign policy when it comes to how they treat legal immigrants versus the United States. It's like night and day. It's not even close. That's the reason why folks decide not to go to other countries and they try to come over here, because they know that, you know, in certain scenarios, at the very least, they'll just get deported out of here. They won't have to deal with, you know, horrible conditions or be treated badly, right? So, you know, once again, going back to the criminal activity, yes, every single person that breaches the United States illegally is committing a criminal act. But if you come over here and you intentionally want to do criminal activity, then you need to get up out of here, right? There's no shade of you, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, I'm all for, you know, the protection of the American people. So if you're a person that, you know, you're coming over here and you're making it bad for law-abiding folks that don't deal in criminal activity, I mean, that's crazy. So when it comes to that aspect, I mean, it is what it is. You know, you committed a criminal act, you're not a legal citizen of the United States, you got to go. So I think that, you know, when it comes to the policy that Trump is pushing right now, I think that the main focus is definitely there when it comes to deporting illegal immigrants that are committing criminal activity. But there are some scenarios and there are some situations that I think that's probably happened in the last couple of days, because it just happened a couple of days ago, that there have been some illegal immigrants that have not committed criminal activity, and they're having their families destroyed because, you know, mama is about to be deported, or dad is about to be deported, or uncle's about to be deported, right? And they may have came over here, like I said, just to have a better life, and they're getting deported because they're not legal. They didn't go through the process of being a legal citizen. And, you know, it could be a situation where they did a criminal act in the country, and if they know if they tried to apply for citizenship in the United States, their background check wouldn't go through, and the United States would deny them. So they're coming over here illegally because they know that they can't go through the proper legal steps to be a citizen, right? But I mean, it's still a criminal act. It's still a crime. It's still not legal, right? So I do feel for the families. I really do. I really do. Like seriously, like, I could imagine being in a situation where I got deported and I had to literally leave my family behind, because for whatever reason, they may be legally here, whether it be green card or whatever, but because of my situation and because I couldn't come over here legally, I'm being deported, right? So, I mean, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? I really, really feel for those families. I really do. You know, the law is black and white. You know, a lot of times the law is not colorful. It really isn't, right? And that's the inhuman thing about it, right? But at the same time, laws are put in place for protection of the folks that actually are living I guess a good life, right? Or I know that's not the word for it, but they're living a stand-up life, for lack of better words, right? And they're not committing crimes. You know, they're law-abiding citizens, and you got immigrants over here that are basically destroying cities. They're destroying states because they're committing all these criminal acts, and folks are terrified, right? So when it comes to that, I mean, I have no grievance with that. You know, if you do stuff that's messed up, then so be it, right? So one scenario I want to give when it comes to that, because I'm gonna also get back to the reason why I support this. So I had a homeboy that I met when I was in Korea. The second time I was in Korea twice. I was in the Army. This was back in 2011, and I was in Seoul the first 10 months I was in Korea. I did 2 years doing that tour. I was in Seoul the first 10 months I was there, stationed there, and after I didn't have my family with me for medical reasons, so I couldn't bring my wife and my kids over. So I'm going out, every other weekend, seeing the sights, all these things, and I meet these group of guys and girls that were playing what's called touch rugby, right? And for anybody that doesn't know what rugby is as a sport, go ahead and Google it. But they used to play, they played rugby, but not tackle rugby. They played touch rugby. Basically, it's two-hand touch rugby. And it was interesting to me. I said, you know what, I'll go ahead and do this. You know what I'm saying? I was very athletic, obviously, being in the Army, but that was my peak time in the Army. I was about 32 years old, and I was in my prime. Like, I was a beast. And I wanted to have something to do. So one of the homeboys that I met through this was an African guy. He was from Senegal. And every other weekend they would have these tournaments, these rugby tournaments, and I would go there. I would meet up with him. We'd play rugby. Maybe go out afterwards with everybody. They played rugby in this league, because it was a huge league. It wasn't just pick up rugby. It was literally a league. You had leagues from Thailand, leagues from Australia, leagues from actually South Korea itself. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I had never seen that. We would go out and party afterwards with us. It was a very good time. And he was in South Korea for entrepreneurship opportunities. Now, I'm not exactly sure if he was actually legal. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't really get into his business like that, right? But long story short, with him, apparently either he did something that was illegal, or he did something that was circumventing the law, Korean law, right? And he wound up getting locked up in Korean prison. And I've heard about what Korean prison is. It's nothing like, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It really isn't. No, South Korea. I'm not exactly sure how North Korea is, but I'm pretty sure North Korea is probably 100 times worse because it's a dictatorship. But South Korea was not nice. Like I had soldiers that got locked up in Korean jails, and they treated them absolutely horrendous, right? So I can only imagine him being an illegal immigrant. If he was, I'm not exactly sure, but I can't imagine him being an illegal immigrant. In South Korea, being in jail, in prison, not jail, but prison. Excuse me. And he spent a couple years in that prison. I had long left Korea, went to another duty station, and I had some friends of mine that were still in the league, and he was like, yeah, like, homeboy, he's still in prison. And then maybe a couple years ago, he got out and got deported. So, so like I said, going back to what I was saying before earlier, like, other countries don't deal with immigrants, illegal immigrants, nicely. They treat them very badly, right? So I understand why folks come over here illegally, because they understand that it's not a severe penalty to get caught being illegal and being sent back to your country. But that's just one aspect when it comes to, like, how illegal immigration is it's kind of detrimental to the country to a certain degree. It really is, you know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of folks are going to say that deporting a lot of illegal immigrants is going to affect the economy severely, because you have a lot of immigrants that deal with jobs that Americans don't want to necessarily do. That is true, right? So so in a sense, yes, the economy, I believe, will take a hit. I really believe so. But you have to take the good with the bad. You really do. And I hate that America even allowed this to get this deep, right? Because had it been stricter immigration laws, then you wouldn't have all these broken families. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have all these folks being deported. When you wouldn't have all these folks being detained. None of that, right? It's crazy. It really is. It's almost like the last administration had the borders like totally open up. It's like a free fall, right? So the consequence of that is that this administration is not having it. They just not, right? So another situation when it comes to this, right? So when I was stationed in California back in 99 to 2001, and I can clearly remember going down to LA County from Monterey. I was in Monterey, and I clearly remember driving from Monterey to LA some weekends. I had a girlfriend that was down there. Don't ask me how we met, you know what I'm saying? Because Monterey and LA is a pretty far distance, right? But I would go down there to see her, And I remember eventually learning how my route was going there. And there were certain cities that I avoided, because there were certain cities that I realized that it was literally 100% Mexican and nobody spoke English. Nobody. I'm talking about, like, I mean, literally, like, it felt like I was in Mexico. It really was. You know what I'm saying? It was certain towns on that route that, like, if I went there, there was no English spoken, and they would look at me like I was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I was some type of invader, right? Like I ain't supposed to be there, right? So so it was just certain areas of that route that I did not get gas or get any snacks or anything like that. I just avoided them, right? And you know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of scenario-based towns and cities that are like that all across the country. I'm not saying anything bad about them, right? But what I am saying is that America as a whole is a melting pot. So there's nothing wrong with, you know, with foreigners being here. But when you are an illegal immigrant, it's an issue, because it's against the law to be that way here. So you have a lot of immigrants that come here that don't even care to even learn English, right? When you go to other countries, that's like one of the stipulations. You have to this along with being in that country, you have to learn the language. You don't have to be fluent, but you have to be able to speak the language to a certain degree where you can be understandable, and to be able to like have a small conversation, right? But America's not like that. You got hundreds of thousands of immigrants that only know their native language and don't know English. But they're able to navigate in life in America because they probably have family members that are able to translate, right? But I mean, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a really convoluted situation. It really is. It really is. You know what I'm saying? It's not black and white. It's very colorful. And like I said, I really feel for the folks that are being deported. I really do. But you know, to wrap this video up, can I say that I disagree with the deportation? No, I don't. I don't disagree with it, because like you know, with the points that I've already spoken of when it comes to this, it's just a bad look for America to have all these illegal immigrants here. It just is. It's a bad look. And you know, what I would tell you is that a lot of the illegal immigrants that are here had plenty of time to get themselves right, or try to get themselves right. And it's just I don't know, man. It's just a real crazy situation. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is no shade that any of my subscribers or my followers that are immigrants or have or have parents that are immigrants. There's no shade to y'all at all. It really isn't. You know what I'm saying? And if what I'm talking about, you're in this situation right now, or your family member is in this situation, my heart is out to you. It really is. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know, I agree with the deportation policy, I'm not insensitive to the situation. I'm not, right? But it's a real bad situation. I truly I truly believe, and I hope that, you know, the policy is vamped to a certain degree where it's not as aggressive as it is right now, right? I think a lot of folks feel like that America is going to crap, and you know, and basically Trump is saying, like, you know, I don't, if you are totally illegal here, then like get out of here, like bye. You know what I'm saying? And I really think that they're really focusing on certain people as far as like not the mass. But that's not to say that wouldn't change, and like he would literally be like, if you don't have papers, you're gone, right? He could say that. Now, whether it's able to get through Congress and, like, you know, how the political realm works when it comes to that, you know, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly up to date when it comes to policy and how things are when it comes to that particular aspect. But this is a video just to let my followers and my subscribers know that that I do agree with deportation of illegal immigrants. I do. What I don't agree with is, you know, the process of how it's done and how, you know, families are being terrorized when it comes to these things, right? But, you know, I have to relate it to other countries because I was in the military for 20 years and I've been to numerous countries and I see how other countries treat illegal immigrants. And it's crazy. It's nothing nice, y'all. It really is, you know what I'm saying? But they have a process because what the other countries are basically telling them is that if you want to be a part of us, you got to conform to our rules and regulations, right? And it's just like anything else. If somebody comes in your house illegally, or they are an intruder, what you gonna do, right? I know if anybody comes to my house and they're not and they're not welcome, or they haven't announced themselves, or they're not legally lawful, they're not legally to get into my house, like, yeah, it's nothing nice, you know what I'm saying? It really isn't, because it's an invasion of your space. And I think America is kind of fed up with invasion of their space, and they want folks to be here legally, right? And now I understand there are a lot of folks that don't believe in immigrants being here totally. That's illegal. That's ignorant thinking. There really is. That's very ignorant thinking. I think you are deplorable if you think that no immigrants are allowed here. Hell, I'm a damn immigrant when it comes to it, because, you know, even though I have white blood in me, and I'm black, and probably some other races or whatever, and I'm saying at the end of the day, my ancestors are immigrants, right? And just about 90% of folks that are here are not indigenous to America, right? So we're all immigrants, right? You know what I'm saying? Even though we're born on American soil, most of us, but at the end of the day, we didn't originate from here, did we? I don't think so, right? So anyway, drop the comment section below. Let me know what y'all think. I know I rambled a little bit when it comes to explaining this topic, but I just wanted to get my spiel on it. And you know, it is what it is, right? You know what I'm saying? You rock with me, you rock with me. If you don't, like I said, God bless you. I wish y'all the best. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. If you want me to discuss a topic or a subject, then to benefit to your channel, email me at sog757@gmail.com. Email address, description below. Say SOG signing out. I'm gone.